Ask 1, 2, 3. Hello, Constantine, Sierra. All right, sorry guys, we had a little bit of technical difficulties there. So, share screens. So let's take a look at what's going on in Denver. So first of all, I scold all of you, including the people who aren't here, because you guys are doing it wrong. According to DMAR and NAR, you're not supposed to have more than an average of 4 transactions this year because the market's so bad. And let's see, we have 33 of our agents right now who are at 8 or above. And I don't know how many, 20 more or so that are 4 or above. And we're only in April. So I mean, come on, people, you're not listening to what they're telling you. Good for you. Oh. Which this display. So how's the market going up there? What do you guys think?
Still going.
It's still going. Now we do have the eclipse happening in a little bit. It's even starting to get a little darker out there. So,
So it might end soon.
We'll go out so everybody can go look at it. I know how I was as a kid.
No, that'll be the end of the market.
Oh yeah, that'll be at the end of the market, the end of the world. Everything's coming to an end. Cats and dogs live together. Never mind, people don't understand that reference either. No, it's actually, like I told you guys, it's going to be a very strong year. Now, we are seeing some fluctuations, especially on the national level, but Denver is still the strongest market. We look at, for residential, and this is for both attached and detached, active listings at month's end, and remember they do February's numbers in March numbers at the end of April, things like that, but month over month, we were 13.14% ahead. Year over year, we were 45.87. So, February was definitely better than January. January, frankly, sucked. But for year over year, we're 46% above where we were in March of last year. That is a huge difference. Now, part of that is that people are starting to get used to the pricing of loans. And how many people did you guys hear a year ago say, oh, I'm going to wait until loans come down. Oh, I'm going to wait until it's cheaper. Well, all of a sudden they're going, maybe I should have done that. They're rushing in. New listings. Again, they're up because people are suddenly realizing they're going to need to sell for whatever reason. We're at that 4.1 million deals. But new listings month over month are up 29.12%, year over year 22.63. Let me tell you what you're looking for in these numbers. You're always looking for a 10% increase. If we have a 10% increase, we're doing exceptionally well. Pendings, month over month, 12.7, year over year is only 1.7. So here's what I want you to understand. If active listings are up 45%, new listings are up 22%, pendings up 177, what does that tell you about how realtors are doing their job? Not marketing well is a possibility. What else? Well, if rates are up, are these houses priced properly? No. Because we're putting more on the market, more are staying on the market, not as many are selling, or as many as are going on. So that means that we're not adjusting the pricing for the cost of the money. Okay, now that is agent and seller. But who ultimately decides the price of the home?
So,
Nope,
should be.
should be, never will be, never has been.
Whatever willing and able buyers willing to pay for it.
You got it. Buyers determine it. And this is a strong indication that the buyers are saying, yeah, that's still priced a little too high. We'll get into that in a minute. Closed is down 0.45% per year, which proves my point more, but month over month is up 31.2%. So we're doing better, but we're still not in a great place. Closed price average is only up 3.04% year over year and 3.27 month over month. Closed median 2.141 and 2.05. What I want you to see is look at the new listings and the active listings, they're double digits. These are all singles. Whether they're positive or negative, they're all singles. And so what this means is we're going to add more inventory to the market. We're going to have less competition for them, which is going to affect our pricing, pushing it slightly downward eventually. Now, we don't have all the buyers coming into the market for the spring market yet. That actually starts when, Crystal?
You know why?
Anybody know when the spring market starts?
School yard?
This will
It's a good thought, but no. Technically, it will start.
I don't. Was it May 1st?
It'll technically start not this coming weekend, the following one after tax day. Literally, the
Oh, you're
weekend
right.
when it starts every year.
Yep.
So you'll see an influx of buyers starting to stream in pretty steadily.
Wait, what happens after the?
The weekend after tax day is when the spring selling season really starts. And think of it this way, in Denver, what's happening? It's greening up, it's warming up. People are coming out of their homes, they're going, oh, we do have neighbors. So like we're starting to come out of the winter funk, and this is when everybody starts to do it. So if you don't have an open house for not this weekend, but next weekend, go get one.
Well, that and I think it's also driven by the leases. Everyone's lease up's coming up, right? And you have to give 60-day notice typically, or at least 30 days. So by April, if you're leased, and most leases are signed in what, May, June, and July. So they gotta make a choice.
Actually, if you look, leases are signed all year long and it's pretty even.
Okay.
So I mean, you'll have a lot come due, but there's really not a huge influx of landlords try and do that, but being a landlord, listen, if it comes available in November, I'm getting it rented by December. I'm not gonna wait until June. Volume, month over month, we're doing really well. Again, with the volume, we're still only 2.57% year over year. Now we look at days, average MLS days, median in MLS, they're both starting to drop. Okay, so how do you reconcile active is higher, new listings is higher, but days on MLS is lower?
Selling quicker?
Which listings? Because remember, these are over the whole metro area. What is that telling you? Because typically, if these two were higher, these two would be higher, right? Now, here's the thing. Are all listings equal? No. So people who are pricing them right, they're going in a day or two.
What
Versus,
price point are you seeing that, Cato? What is that price point, right? What's the sweet spot right now?
well, according to this chart, it's everything. I don't have, and we can look at it in a minute here, Crystal. I don't have an exact number for that, but I know the 5s and 6s are doing really well right now.
Okay.
2 million and above is relatively slow. Anything below 5, it doesn't even get completed in the MLS before there's 6 contracts on it. So,
Right.
closed price to list ratio is only up 0.35%, which also has to do with our pricing there. So here's what I want you to get. How many reds did we have versus greens 3 months ago? When you were looking at this?
Majority.
Yeah, majority was red. We're going backwards. We had a really rough 6 month run for Q4 and Q1. Or I'm sorry, late Q3 through part of Q1. Now it's starting to really reverse. So we're just more seasonal this year. On top of that, we're in an election year. So guess what? There's more volatility in the markets, which means that rates are going to be more volatile. You know, we're still hearing we've made it through. It's a complete recovery. Don't look at the rest of the state over here, but we made it through. Woo! Well, Wall Street is now starting to go, we think there might be a couple problems here. And so you're going to see that a lot of people are going to try and buy this summer. One of the reasons I told you guys a long time ago that I thought this would be a great year. They're trying to buy before Biden gets in, Trump gets in, Kennedy gets in, who the hell knows? What I'm saying though is they're going, hey, I don't know what it's going to look like after that person gets in, and then we have all the court battles, and you weren't really the winner, and we have another January 6th where everybody rushes the Capitol and blah, blah, blah. So people just want stability right now. If you don't believe me, how many of you heard all the crap about this eclipse and like the world's about to end? National Guard is out in at least 9 states that I know. It's an eclipse, guys. These happen. Okay? It's a physical phenomena, but everybody wants to freak out about it.
Did you talk about like barrel prices and stuff yet, Cato?
Talk about what?
Like the price of gas, the barrel prices and things like that?
No, and we're not talking about that today.
Okay.
That will be next week. This week, we're just focused on the real estate.
But I wanna know my own expensive now.
Because you drink cow milk. It's signifying yes, your birthday. Okay. So if you guys download this before you look at it in a lot more detail, we're obviously going to be a little short today. But you can look and it'll have it 750 to basically $1 million, and it'll show you what it looks like here. And you'll notice that days in the MLS is going up. Price per square foot is down slightly year over year, which means there's a little bit of a pricing crunch in there. Not terrible. New listings are up quite a bit. Closed is up massively, almost 30%. Okay, whereas so keep that the close is up basically 29%. Let's see if I can find. Okay, whereas it's interesting. I didn't expect that. Closed on 500 to 750 is down 2.95%. New listings is up by 23. Whereas the 750 to $1 million is up 42%. So here's what this tells me. We knew that we had a lot of stuff on in the 500 to 750 market. People with the 750 to $1 million didn't know where they were going to move next. So they're now moving their property so that they can. Does that make sense? How many times you guys heard a seller say, well, I'm not really willing to list it until I know I have a house? Well, here's the bad part. I get what they're saying, but if I go off and I sell John a new home, and then his doesn't sell in a weekend, what is he going to have to do to help entice buyers to buy it?
Break down its price.
Drop his price. If he drops his price, then all of a sudden it's well, Cato, you didn't do a good job. I lost money on the deal. Does this make sense? Because he's buying in reverse. You really want to have that place listed and make it contingent upon him finding a new property and hopefully concurrent with his move. Not always, but hopefully. What I want you guys to see with this though, again, we're doing a short day today. Go through this report and start looking at it, because what you're gonna see is that the cycles, while they. There we go. While they are getting better, we're in the same cycle we're in every single year. Nothing has changed. And everybody's running around screaming, the sky is falling. Well, you will never be paid commissions again and all that. Oop, what did I just say?
It's eclipsed.
Okay, that's fine. And it went to a different slide, that was cool.
What are the dates of that chart? I can't see the numbers.
February. Really weird. It is the eclipse, it's like messing with.
Oh, that was.
You know what?
Yeah, I think it was the same slide.
Is it? Oh, it is, I'm sorry. So what I want you to see though is, see how active dropped here? That was your oddity, but we're back on the same cycle we've been on, folks. There's nothing different or new. People are now getting used to the economy. Go find buyers. Because I'll tell you what,
Kato, do you
go ahead.
well, do you remember what the interest rates were this time last year? Weren't they like a high six anyway, right?
They were really high sixes to like 7.2-ish, 7.15. So they were a little higher than they
Yeah,
are.
I don't think much has changed.
No, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
okay.
People are now used to it. It takes people 6 months to a year to get used to these things, and all of a sudden it's, oh, this is fine. This is good. Okay, never mind.
Right, and then I'm trying to look at this and kind of drive, but like, wouldn't you say then that even at the interest rates being slightly higher last year, this year we're still seeing a housing prices the average 10 to 12%, or is it less than that?
You're breaking up. Say that again.
Seeing the 10%
Fresco, we can't hear you.
last year and-
Fresco.
I'm worst part of town. No, you guys can.
I think we're losing you. Why don't you call me later and I'll answer your question? Unfortunately, I can't hear you at all. And so what I'm saying is, yes, the economy is shifting. Yes, we're watching this stuff, and people are starting to get used to it. Don't make that the excuse. I made the joke earlier about NAR said we're all supposed to only have 4 deals. You'd be amazed at how many people are like, I don't know if I'm going to survive this year. Let's have 4 deals, and I'm like, who the hell told you that? I don't care what NAR says. Okay. Same type of thing. Just go do the job and go help people. That's it. Nothing else. And get ready for a really fast ride this summer, because pricing's going up, rates are where they are. They're not really going up or down right now. I still don't think, and yes, you're hearing in the news left and right, Fed's gonna drop the rates in June. I don't think they can. And I think if they do, they destroy Biden's chances, and I think if they don't, they destroy Biden's chances, so. And by the way, it's not politically motivated, they'll tell you that in their speech. What questions do you guys have right now?
Do you think they'll drop at all this year?
If they do, I think it'll be at earliest mid to late October, and that would be politically motivated. And realistically, I see them dropping in December if they drop. I think I think there is a possibility based off of some of the stuff that we're seeing, that inflation is back with a vengeance, and they're going to have to increase rates before they decrease. I still say between June and August, and I'm a little more bearish than I was 2-3 weeks ago. Because the reports aren't coming in quite as strong as I thought, but they're still showing that, I mean, if the Fed were smart, the Fed would be raising rates again. The problem is, they've got all these corporate bonds that are getting ready to roll over, and if they raise rates, they're gonna put companies out of business, so they're trying to not create a bunch of unemployment, which is what they need to create so that the economy will slow down, but it's an election year and they're getting a huge amount of stress. If this were any other year, they would definitely be like, we're gonna have to raise rates 1 or 2 more times. So,
I was gonna ask you in regard to your example you provided about having a seller and trying to have their sale be concurrent with the new home that they're trying to buy. It seemed like that in that situation, they should list their home first.
Yes,
not try to
always.
do everything at the
always. List your home. The day you get under contract is the day we start shopping. We're gonna go for a 60-day close and or a 60-day rent back. That gives you 120 days to get your job done.
Is the rent back, that's the. Where you can stay in the house after you sold it?
So. All right, go get a listing, go look at the eclipse, go make money, we're all gonna die, everything's over. Bye for now.